Welcome back to the podcast. That was way louder.
Yo, your favorite podcast, bro.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the pod.
Pod.
The Ren and Stumpy podcast. I'm Ren.
I'm Stumpy.
And this has been our podcast. Thank you for listening.
The Ren and Stumpy Podcast.
Podcast. Can you imagine we literally just upload like a 20-second podcast? We're like, bye, guys.
We should do that one day.
No, I think today's
like
episode... Shut up. I think today's episode actually might be kind of a long one. I think we got a lot of
my dick
content to go over because...
It's giving Drake.
It's giving... Oh, actually, I wanted to talk about Drake because he's one of my pet peeves. Just Drake. I don't like him.
That's valid. Today we're talking about our pet peeves.
Yes, Drake is one of them.
Apparently, Drake is one of Lauren's.
I mean...
I don't understand how he's like the most streamed artist in the world.
No,
I've never met someone who likes him.
Very basic.
Literally, I've never met someone who listens to Drake.
That's what I'm saying. He's extremely
I think
mid.
Ethan maybe listens to him. No, does he not?
Ethan doesn't like Drake. One time he called Taylor Swift the Drake of pop music.
He's not wrong.
So like,
you know what? He kind of ate with that one.
Yeah.
The only thing Ethan and I bond over is our hatred of Taylor Swift. I send him memes about how much Taylor Swift sucks sometimes.
I thought that we had 3 emails, but we only have 2. Mia said that she showed me her draft.
She literally Guadalupe was bread pudding Ruiz. I swear to God.
Guadalupe Ruiz Weir Zabriskie. We have she literally showed me her draft. Like, she was in the middle of composing an email for us.
How could she?
And that was right now. Over a week ago.
Call her right now.
Girl, just send us the draft.
She's not listening right now.
Well, girl, send us the draft.
Call her right now.
Anyway, so we're talking about pet peeves. Yeah. We asked for submissions from our audience of what their pet peeves are. We got 2 emails. So I think we're going to go over...
You can't guess who they're from.
Definitely not Kendall and Bree.
Wow, that's crazy.
Anyway, we're going to go over theirs first, and then we prepared our own lists also. What?
I just drank water really loudly by the mic.
Drinking like that.
I like water.
Gulp, gulp, gulp.
I'm healthy.
Gulp, gulp, gulp. All right. Kendall sent hers first, so we'll read hers first.
Gulp.
Her subject is, hey, bitches.
Hey, bitch.
Damn, this is a long email.
Wait, don't call me a bitch. That's not nice.
Okay. Here are a list of my pet peeves from Kendall. She says, ultimatums. In what context? Because, like...
Sometimes they're necessary.
Sometimes in a relationship, always bad. Always bad. If there's any part of your relationship that requires an ultimatum, that's a red flag, I think. Yeah. I think that's really bad. Especially when it comes to, like, commitment type things. Especially, you know, like proposing or whatever. Yeah.
Because it's not genuine.
No, I don't feel like a good, happy marriage is going to start off with an ultimatum. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I just think... It's not a good sign. Yeah. Threats. Yikes. Oh, she's talking about us. Because I threatened. On the Ren and Stumpy story on Instagram, I said if you don't send us an email, you don't get to listen to this. Because she also said podcasters, girls named Lauren, girls named Annie. Podcasters named Lauren or Annie that give ultimatums or threats.
Okay.
To be fair, Annie had nothing to do with it.
I didn't do it. Lauren manages the Instagram.
I manage the Instagram. I edit all the episodes. I upload everything. I bought all the equipment. Annie's barely a part of this. You know what? Annie's my pet peeve.
Fuck you.
Fuck Annie.
People who think they're better than everyone else just because they bought a fucking microphone. That's us.
That's literally what having a podcast is. It's thinking you're better than everyone else because you bought a microphone.
Yeah. Every time I see, like, clips of, like, really problematic podcasts or something, there are always comments that are like, podcast equipment should cost way more than it does. Or, like,
no, for real. Not everyone needs to have a podcast. This microphone cost me $30.
And then I feel bad for myself because I'm like, are we those people?
Yeah, but who cares? Okay, we have a lot to get through, so let's keep going. Okay. Her actual pet peeves. When people use the wrong your, their, to. That's a very common one,
but totally valid.
But I was gonna say 100% valid because I hate it too. Like,
unless English is your second language, you have no fucking excuse, bitch. Maybe dyslexia or something.
If you have dyslexia, it's your second language, or you're an actual child, fine. Anything else,
you have no excuse to not know the difference.
No, like,
absolutely not.
If you're a full grown adult and your first language is English and you don't have any sort of learning like disability, what the hell is your problem? Like, is it, like, how are you actually that fucking stupid?
The one that gets me the worst for some reason is, I don't know if did she write 2 and 2?
Yeah.
2 and 2 is the worst one to me for some reason.
Because it's so easy to know.
They're not even pronounced the same a lot of the time. Like, 2 is usually... 2
is like tuh.
Too much is usually pronounced as 2.
Go to the store.
Yeah, they're not even pronounced the same most of the time.
That's actually true. I don't hear people say, like, I'm going to the store.
Like, at least, like, there is always pronounced like there.
Actually, there, I say there.
Okay, well, for the most part, they're pronounced the same, though.
EIR and ERE, those are the same.
Yeah.
They're not, but, like, they're not that cool.
I say them all the same. I don't think I have any distinction when I say it.
I make a distinction with the, like, apostrophe one, but anyways... That's a common one, so I get it.
Your and your, I say differently.
Yeah. Your.
Depending on the sentence.
I do too. Yeah. I do too. Okay, anyway. When people say or like too much, fuck you. Because I just said like as I was reading that. Here's the thing. I
just need more time to think, okay?
I understand it to a certain extent. Because I say and like a lot. But I feel like I put them in places that make sense. There are some people who are literally like, so, I went to like, and then,
it can definitely be too
and I'm
much,
like, okay, like, just spit it out.
Yeah.
So, I get it to an extent. Sometimes it is too much, but sometimes I get it because... And she also said, even though I know I do this. So, at least she's self-aware.
Valid.
Okay, when people keep talking to me after I've clearly stopped talking, don't want to keep talking.
Oh, my gosh, literally happened. Worst.
She said, this literally happened to me today. I was sitting at Plasma, or, like, donating plasma, playing on my phone, and a lady just started talking to me, and I was just like, girl, I do not want to talk to you right now. And she just, like, didn't get the hint. And I hate that. Sometimes I get some people just don't get social cues. Maybe people with autism or some other sort of, like, thing like that where they don't get it. Fine. But I feel like there are a lot of people I meet where I'm like, how are you not? Like,
here's the thing about most people with autism, though. They usually actually have something interesting to talk about.
True. Actually, that's kind of true. That's real.
Like, sometimes they're just info dumping, and I still like it either way. You know? Like,
but, like... It's kind of when I've been like, wow, that's crazy. Enough times, stop talking.
Like we're done.
You're done.
I have been a culprit of this before that I've talked a little bit too much.
Maybe I haven't gotten the hint, but
I still hate it.
I still hate it too. Yeah. She said, when my husband doesn't put the water pitcher in the fridge.
How can you do that? That's actually so horrible.
Sometimes Nathan doesn't refill the Brita, and I'm like.
It takes like 2 seconds.
Yeah, but every time I call him out on it, I'm like, there's not enough water in here. I'm like, you didn't refill it. And he's like, I did, but I had used it up entirely before I did that. So the only amount that I could refill was like not that much. And I was like, okay, I get that, I guess, but
sure.
But like, you shouldn't have used everything left in there if you had refilled it the time before. So
I'm just glad I have the water dispenser thing on my fridge now.
Yeah.
Especially because I have 3 roommates. That would not go well if we had to use a Brita.
When people scoff when I'm having a conversation with him, like, actually shut the fuck up, don't ever talk to me again. I need to know the context, though, because sometimes I scoff in agreeance. I'm like, oh, me too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like she's definitely not saying that.
No. And so, like, if you can tell it's, like, with the disgust of whatever you said, if you're, like, talking and someone's like, oh, I'm like, okay? Okay? What do you...
When it's kind of, like, nondescript, if it's, like, what the fuck do you mean by that,
Yeah,
bitch?
what was that for?
Huh?
Explain yourself.
What?
Actually. I get that. That's annoying.
I remembered another one to mention later.
When people call working for a corporation and multi-level marketing the product...
This seems targeted.
A small business. So yeah, if you are, for like doTERRA or Nu Skin or that kind of stuff, if you're selling their product, you've been roped into the pyramid scheme, and you say that you have a small business because you sell products from that business.
Yeah, no.
You're just wrong.
You work for a multi-level marketing scheme.
Yeah, you work for that company selling their product. You could say you're in sales.
Yeah.
For a much larger
unless
company.
You started this business yourself, it's not a small business.
You're not a small business. My guess is multi-level marketing, like pyramid scheme kind of places, I think they probably tell the people.
They probably encourage them to think that way.
They encourage them to think that way. They tell the people they're recruiting, they're like, be a business owner, start this today. And so it gives them that mindset that they're like doing something really
You're not
impressive.
That special. You didn't create this product. You
were just
do anything yourself. They gave you the products to sell, and you're selling them.
Yeah, I agree. That kind of bothers me too. Mother-in-laws in general. Period. Actually, well, I've heard so many horror stories from like so many people's mother-in-laws. I can agree, but in my personal life, I'm not married, but my boyfriend and I plan to get married. And my boyfriend's mother is a sweetheart, so.
I am very comforted in knowing that if I ever get married, our mom will be a good mother-in-law.
True. I think our mother has always been a very good mother-in-law.
Yeah.
To, like, our in-law siblings, or whatever. Whatever you call them.
Our siblings
in-laws.
Our siblings. We just have one right now.
Our siblings,
so our
spouses. Grandmother-in-law. So just in-laws.
Oh my gosh.
And then she said conservatives, but then in parentheses, kidding, but in the parentheses, not.
Real.
And then she
talking to you, Kendall, 4 years ago.
And then she said men, in parentheses, kidding, and in parentheses, not. And then in parentheses again, except Tyler, her husband. And then she said, love y'all. There's a few of my peeves for you.
My biggest pet peeve is when people say peeves.
She actually had a lot of typing mistakes in here that I had to fix, and I'm going to make fun of her for them later.
My biggest pet peeve is typing mistakes.
No, when she said using the wrong version of this, she actually said using the wing version. So, girl,
that was the ugliest laugh.
Kind of ironic. Yeah. Kind of maybe.
My biggest pet peeve is people named Kendall spelled
maybe
stupidly.
Look in the mirror because actually you're not good at spelling either.
Can't even spell Kendall right.
Anyway, no, I love you.
Love you.
She said, okay, love y'all. There's a few of my pet peeves for you so I don't get blacklisted from the pod. Bye. Terrified. Kendall. Sent from my iPhone. Oh, my pet peeve is when people don't delete that from emails. I actually think it's so annoying to read an email on my laptop. This is sent from my iPhone. Sorry.
I don't know why they feel the need to put it there.
I don't know either. I just wish that Apple would just do away with that. Yeah. Anyway, do you want to read Breeze? Oh, she sent 2 emails.
Oh, dear.
All right. Okay. This is our next one.
Dear. Number 1.
Oh my god. Oh, this is gonna take a long time.
Okay. People acting entitled and like they're better than you.
Yes.
This is something we deal with a lot at our job.
Anyone who works in customer service deals with this on a daily basis. But it's not just...
Especially the entitled people at our job.
Well, it's not just the customers at our job, too. There are some other, fellow employees who act like they're better than us or above us, and I can't stand that. I cannot stand that. People who treat you like
you literally suck at your job, actually.
Yeah, no, people who treat you like you are beneath them piss me off.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Not my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, next. People who judge other people's jobs.
No, real. Yeah. I hate this too. When people are like, you're going to end up flipping burgers. Bitch, do you eat at McDonald's?
Who do you think is going to flip the burgers?
Then why are you judging? Do you consume products from the company you're making fun of right now? Then you can't make fun of people who work there.
And the absolute worst is when they're like, when they're saying, oh, well, fast food is where, teenagers should work. Who do you expect to work there during the day during school years?
No,
what
literally.
What the fuck do you expect?
If you want to get a burger on your lunch break in September, who do you think's going to be working there doing it for you?
That's going to have to be an adult. Sorry, bitch.
If you benefit from their services, you do not have the right to make fun of their job. And even if you don't, you still making fun of other people's jobs.
Because a lot of people do go there, and they're necessary jobs.
Everyone is doing their best to just make ends meet in this world. Everyone is in financial crisis right now. Yeah. So making fun of someone else's job just pisses me off.
So annoying. And every job should pay enough for people to survive.
For real. If your employees can't afford to live, then your company shouldn't be in business. Actually, you don't make enough money. You actually suck. Okay, keep going.
Number 3 is chewing with your mouth open. Close that shit, you hog!
That was on my list, except it was hearing people chew. Yeah, obviously that sucks. Mm-hmm. But this might be a hot take. What I hate even more than hearing people chew is hearing people swallow.
Oh, yeah.
I hate.
Do you know what I really hate? When I accidentally swallow really loud.
Oh, and you're like,
oh, it's the worst.
You're like, ew, what was that?
Ew,
what just came out of
God, I'm disgusting.
No, yeah, I hate. That's a common one too, but again, very valid. I hate it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think these next 2 are her fiance's pet peeves because it says Tyler :
Oh, okay. So her fiance has some additions.
So Tyler's : Sorry,
Tyler's : he has fucking irritable bowel syndrome.
I'm so sorry, Tyler. Slow walking, especially in a grocery store. Oh my God!
Annie and I were talking about this
the other day. You have a whole cart. You have children. Even you're taking up the entire aisle, and you're moving like a fucking slug.
Annie and I were talking
Get out of my fucking way.
Okay, we were literally talking about this the other day. People who are just not aware of their surroundings when they're walking into people or walking slow around people or not moving out of people's way when they're walking past them. How are you so unaware of what's happening around you? I do not understand that.
I think for me, part of it is my anxiety. I'm always kind of hyper aware of what's happening around me.
I'm also so
I think everyone needs to be a little bit more anxious.
I'm a people pleaser for sure, and I'm always worrying about how my actions are affecting those around me.
I'm always thinking about how I'm being perceived by other people. And it just like
astounds me that other people don't think that way.
It's so upsetting. Okay, I need to kind of describe this visually, so hopefully the listeners can make.
For all of our audio listeners.
So, when say you're walking this way, you're walking straight, and someone's walking like perpendicular to you.
Yes.
And you're like on a collision course.
Yes.
But they just don't do anything.
I'm like either I have to slow down or I have to speed up, and you're not doing anything to try to avoid me.
Absolute worst, especially if you're almost on a collision course and they just accept that they're walking really uncomfortably close to you.
Oh yeah,
I hate it.
That is
so much.
so weird.
It makes me so uncomfortable.
I hate when you're like. How do I explain this? This happens to me in grocery stores a lot. When you're like going through a door at the same time as someone, but like it's awkward that you're standing like right next to them, and one of you has to kind of go in front and one of you has to kind of go in the back because there's some stranger you don't want to be standing directly next to. That's like awkward.
Cozy.
I hate when they don't do anything about it. I'm like, why is it up to me to like choose to walk in front of you or behind you? Because like, were you just gonna be okay with walking side by side with me? Like, we don't know each other, and I think that that's so weird.
Some people are just way too comfortable with strangers.
Yeah, or they're just not thinking about them, and they are just letting the other person do all the work in avoiding awkward situations. But anyway.
Wait. Number 5, also Tyler, talking about something as if you're an expert but not knowing shit about it. Basically just repeating something you heard like a know-it-all kind of.
Okay.
Tyler, the anti-mansplainer.
Here's the thing. I know what he means, and there are certain types of people that this applies to. However, this does not apply to me. I love doing this. No, because I was literally listening to one of our podcast episodes in the car on the way over here, and there was a whole like section of the podcast where I was giving like nutrition advice about what the like health benefits of raspberries are. Definitely pulled that shit out of my ass, and I was like, this just sounds right. And I love doing that. I love giving advice and talking about something that I don't actually know that much about, but I'm like, this sounds right. I'm just gonna talk like I know what I'm saying. At
least you don't tell people to rub kiwi skins on their lips.
Oh my god, our older sister did that once. No, she just posted on this like website that was for like beauty tips and tricks, and she said that if you rub a kiwi skin on your lips, it's like a good exfoliator. But she just made that shit up, and she tried it afterwards, and it made her lips bleed. And she was like, "Oh, that was not good advice." But no, I do that shit. Sometimes I just start giving advice when like I am not. It is not warranted. I am not an expert in this, but I just love to talk.
You know
so
what?
Sometimes it's okay, but sometimes like when it's about more serious issues, people who will go so heavy on like political issues that like clearly they don't know what they're talking about, that does piss me off. Where I'm like, okay, what are you actually saying? Yeah. Like if it's a serious issue, yes, that's a problem. When it's little dumb things that I just like to yap about, I think it's fun.
Valid.
So.
Okay, number 6, no awareness or spatial awareness. We went into this.
That's kind of, how we're talking about like slow walking. And that's kind of goes along with.
Pay attention a little bit.
Well, that kind of goes along with Kendall's thing of like social awareness, where it's like, I clearly don't want to hear about what you're talking about. Yeah. I clearly want you to stop talking. I'm not interested in this conversation.
Pay a little bit more attention to the people around you.
I think generally speaking, people are just kind of selfish. Yeah, and I think they just don't realize. Yeah. Okay, next one.
Okay, talking over me / interrupting me. Hey, honestly, that's a really hard one for me because I'm a Halverson, and Halversons are the absolute worst with talking over each other.
I get it, but I will say this. I think, yes, we do talk over each other, but we know that the other person is okay with it. Yeah. Because we're used to it.
We hear everything that the other person is saying still, and we can still pay attention
I think I do, in a conversation with a group, I think I try really hard to, like, especially if someone has tried to start a sentence multiple times.
Yeah, I'll, like,
then I'm like, okay, sorry. I'm like, yeah, sorry, like, Bree needs to say what she needs to say. Yeah. Like, I do try to do that.
I brought that up in therapy today.
There are some people that I don't do that with, though. With Annie, you can tell. You've listened to this podcast. We don't give a fuck if we're talking over the top of each other. I will say sometimes, though, I am trying to make a point, and I can tell that the conversation is moving on. And I'm like, no, I need to say what I need to say before it moves on. So I'm like, no, wait.
I have ADHD, and I'll be like, I will forget this point if we move on now. We need to rewind a tiny little bit so I can be like, wait, let me say what I need to say. I'm not done with this portion of the conversation yet.
Sometimes Annie doesn't get it, and I'll like start a sentence like 8,000 times, and then I'm like, Annie!
I'm sorry, but the thing is, we're doing like the same thing at the same time. So it'll be like, I'm going to forget what I have to say, though, and then you have the exact same thing. I'm going to forget what I
have to
So
say.
it's a vicious cycle.
So when it comes to interrupting, yes and no. I think there are times when it's fine, and other times where it's like, dude, let the other person talk. Especially in an argument, I really hate it. Mm-hmm. In an argument, I'm like, no, we both need to speak our minds. Like, Nathan and I have arguments sometimes. Every couple does. And in that moment, it is very serious to me that I'm like, we will not interrupt each other. We need to give each other our time. That is important. That's different than, like, having a fun conversation with your friends, though. Yeah. So.
Okay. Number 8, laziness. Not like relaxing or lazy days, but like being outright lazy and making other people's lives harder because of it.
Yeah.
Totally valid.
If your laziness only really affects you, then who fucking cares?
Go for it.
But once it gets to the point that you're a burden on others, no, that's not okay. That's no longer excusable. I
used to feel so guilty because I thought I was just like a really lazy person, and then I saw somebody say, people who are just straight up lazy do not have like overwhelming guilt and anxiety over the fact that they're lazy. Yeah. That's executive dysfunction.
Yeah, having like depression or ADHD or things that make it hard for you.
That's not the same.
Things that make it hard for you to get daily tasks done and stuff, that's way different from laziness, and that's not what I'm talking about. It's purposefully choosing to not do things just because you don't want to, and it's making other people's life harder. That's fucking annoying. Especially when it's like at your job. Yeah. It's like coworkers. I'm like, you get paid the same amount as me to do this fucking job. Maybe we could put in the same amount of work. Like, it's not fair if I'm doing everything and we're both making the same money out of it. Like, that was
the absolute worst at my last job. I was one of the hardest workers in that entire place. And there were people there that would just stand around and do pretty much nothing all day.
It's been that way at a lot of my jobs
before. And I'm like, you see me busting my ass 24/7 for this stupid job. Yeah. And you're just standing there doing nothing. Well, I'm having an anxiety attack over how busy it is.
I don't know how they can, like, be okay with themselves.
It's horrifying to me. I cannot
do you not feel guilty
it.
about the effects you're having on those around you? Like, again, I know I'm a people pleaser, but sometimes I'm like, is this really a people pleasing tendency, or is this just like basic human decency though? Yeah. You know what I mean? Anyway.
All right, last one. Well, there's another
She sent a second email, but last one for this email.
Personal hygiene, just not being clean and not caring about being clean. Yeah. Yes.
Again, mental illnesses excused. Yeah. Because we understand that.
Like, I'm kind of bad at brushing my teeth sometimes because I have depression, but...
But...
I always brush my teeth before I leave the house, and I think that's good enough.
In general, if you just stink and you don't even realize you stink and you don't care that you stink, ew.
Gross. Absolutely yucky.
People that smell bad bother me. I can't stand that.
I have like a terrifying, just a horrible fear that I stink. Yeah. Everyone tells me I don't, and I try to believe them, but I'm always worried.
Like, how can you not?
Because I have hyperhidrosis, so I'm really sweaty, so I could definitely get really stinky.
I just think it's weird. Like, how can you not be self-aware of it? Because I've had really bad, like, depression, like bouts of depression, and I've been like, I haven't showered in like 4 days or something, but I feel like. But I don't let myself be stinky, though. Like, I'm going to be wearing clean clothes. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to be wearing deodorant and perfume. Like, no one's going to be able to know that I'm depressed and dirty.
And, like, you know what I mean? If I'm stinky, I'm wearing, like, a big sweatshirt that's thick enough to mask the
If
smell.
I'm stinky, I'm staying home.
The smell's not getting through.
I can stink in my own home. But I don't know. I can't go out of the house being smelly. Yeah. I can't do that.
Alrighty. Do you want to read the second email?
Sure. She said she has more, so she sent a follow-up email. People who are loud as fuck in public places like a bus, airplane, etc. Yeah, I don't like that either. Like, people are trying to relax. Talk a normal volume, bro. Shut up. Also, like, watching videos or listening to music loud as fuck in public. Or phone call on speaker loud as fuck.
Oh, the phone call on speaker is so weird. I hate that.
The phone call on speaker, Kendall, I love you, no offense, but people who dictate into their phone in public.
Sorry, Kendall.
Well, okay, she doesn't do it in, like, public. At work is a little different.
Yeah, that's true.
But, like... My parents will just do it at, like, the dinner table, and then they get mad when they're like, it's picking up your voices. Maybe because you're doing it in a public place where a bunch of people are talking. Like, Mom, just type on your phone. You did it in the middle
of a conversation. Maybe that's why.
True. Mom will literally, like, we'll be in the middle of a conversation, and then all of a sudden she's dictating into her phone.
So I have to, like, shut up all of a sudden when I was in the middle of a sentence.
And I'm like, okay. But yeah, no, listening to someone on speaker. I remember when we were in Chicago last year, do you remember those people that were literally just, like, full boombox, like, speaker out loud on the subway?
Oh,
or whatever they call it. The L.
The L, yeah. Yeah, no, that was horrible. I hate that.
Everyone's staring at them like, what the fuck? I hate that too.
Okay with this.
I think I have a tendency to be loud in public, but it's more like at restaurants. I think talking and chatting with my friends, we can laugh kind of loud and stuff. But I'm not the type of person to play music out in public or watch videos on speakerphone. If I'm in like a waiting room or something and I'm just like watching TikToks to pass the time, I'm watching them on mute and I'm reading the subtitles. Yeah.
Like watching TikToks just like volume fully on when there are other people around.
That's so weird to me.
So weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, not saying bye before hanging up the phone. That makes me so mad.
God, people do that at work all the time.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I'll have already said like, they'll have said like, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. And I'm like,
and then they're just gone.
Are we done with this phone call or not? And then they've hung up. And
I'm like, you couldn't say like, thanks, bye. Or like,
thank you was not at least like a little
line. Like, okay, have a good day. Like that could be a bye. Like there are a lot of different ways to say it, but a lot of the times they'll just like stop talking in the middle of the conversation. And I'm like, okay, bye. I don't like, this doesn't happen, I think, with like people I know in real life. Like if I'm talking on my cell phone to like my friends or family, I don't feel like that really happens. Oh, I hung up on you today because you were being annoying.
We do that all the time.
But we hang up on each other because it's funny. Like she just started singing in my ear and I was like, I'm done. Like the conversation was over, so I just hung
answered the phone call by saying
you were singing Hamilton.
Actually, twice today I answered your phone call singing.
In a work setting, and like be professional with me, please. Like I'm using my customer service voice. Use yours back to me. Be professional, say goodbye, say thank you.
You know, I expect customers to also have, like, I should have a customer service voice. You should have a customer voice.
Right.
You know?
I do that. I totally have a customer voice when I go places. When I'm, like, ordering or whatever, I have a customer voice.
Exactly. Yeah. I am ridiculously nice to customer service workers.
Me too.
If I go through like a drive-thru or something, I'll be before I leave. It's always thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Every single time. And if they're taking a long time and they apologize for taking a long time, I'm like, oh, it's totally no problem. I'm not in a rush.
We still have our own lists to get through, so
I don't have very many.
We have to wrap this up. I think I have a lot. So
okay.
If I say have a good day and they don't respond or they say okay, this goes along or
just
like
say
you too.
It back, bitch.
I think this goes along with like people who are clearly not listening. Like this happens in customer service all the time where you'll ask them the question, they don't listen, they just start saying whatever they wanted. When I'm like, because like we've talked, we work at Massage Envy. People will come out of their sessions and I'll be like, oh, how was your massage? Like, how was your session? And then they're like, I'd like to rebook. Okay, that's not what I asked you actually. Anything
$15 like tip.
The same kind of thing. Like, have a good day, and then they just like bye. I'm like, you mean you too? Like, have a good day also. What? Like, is it that hard?
Nuts.
Yeah. Sometimes
was Brie at work when she made this email?
I think so. Really a lot of these are work related, or maybe she just made them work related because she knew we could relate since we have the same fucking job. Yeah. Throwing cash on the counter instead of handing it to me, like just put it in my hand. Yeah, I don't like that either. That used to happen at Subway a lot. People don't pay cash at Massage Envy that much.
I'm so glad we didn't take cash at Blaze.
But at Subway, it would happen all the time. People would just toss it on the counter. And I used to work at Holiday Oil, which is a local like convenience store gas station in Utah, and that would happen there a lot too. People would just like they'd just come in. Literally, they'd throw a 20 at me, and they'd be like 20 on pump 7 and walk out. All the time.
Horrifying.
All the time. They would literally just toss it at me.
Audio listeners,
they'd walk in and
I'm
run
aghast.
Out. Yeah. All right. Do you want me to do my list first, or do you want to do your list?
We can alternate.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
You go first because I have more.
Okay. I have some that are all within like the same genre. I think I'll save those to the end. But okay, my first one. This is something Annie and I heavily agree on, and I have very legitimate. Yeah, I have very legitimate reasons for this. I hate, and I will not hear anyone out when people pronounce the candy Reese's as Reese's.
Oh,
it is
my
just
God. There's an apostrophe
100% objectively
Reese
wrong.
Reese, the name Reese's.
It is
Reese's
belonging to
peanut
Reese.
Butter cups.
It is his peanut butter cup. It's Reese's. Okay, it's like why you wouldn't say Mrs. Butterworthy's. Why would you add an E to that? It's Mrs. Butterworth's. It belongs to her. It's her fucking syrup.
People are so fucking stupid.
And I'm like, how do you not understand this? Do you not know what the apostrophe is used for in the English language? Do you
not
know what
the apostrophe means? There's not like a double E or anything.
No, Reese isn't a name. Who the fuck?
Yeah, no, there's not.
Who's Reese Witherspoon, huh? No one! No,
Reese. The name is Reese.
Reese is a name.
Have you seen Malcolm in the Middle, bitch?
Oh, it fucking makes me so mad. Like, it... And if you're listening to this and you say Reese's, it's never too late to change. You can convert. You can do better. Like, at least you don't have jaundice. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, we had a hot take on jaundice, didn't we?
No, I did.
Just don't have jaundice.
Like, fuck jaundice. We went off about jaundice. Jaundice and nickel and scurvy got so much hate in our episode, like, a few episodes ago.
Fucking orange, though. Like,
no, like, actually, how hard is it? Okay, but anyway.
Okay, my first one.
Reese's, I will yell.
This is kind of a weird thing to be a pet peeve, but I hate when this is someone's pet peeve. I think it's stupid.
Oh, okay.
Like, one of the most common, like, you know, when people just do, like, breakers, it's like, what's one of your pet peeves? One of the most common, like, basic ones is, like, putting the toilet paper on the roll a certain direction. Oh. Like, it has to be over the front, or it drives me insane.
I disagree.
First of all,
I disagree.
What does it change? Who cares? Second of all, you clearly don't own cats. Cats will destroy it and roll all of it off of the roll.
Okay, no.
If you have cats.
Not necessarily. I have a cat. She never does that. And I need it to come from the front. Why would I pull toilet paper from the back of the roll?
It doesn't change anything.
No, it changes it to me.
It doesn't affect anything.
No, it does. I'm not with you on this one. I've heard you complain about this before, and I think it's just like...
It's stupid.
No, but here's the thing.
Why is it something that matters to people?
Here's the thing. Why do you care if it matters to people? It's someone else's house. It's their own toilet paper. Why
does
it literally matter?
People have, come to our house and been like, why is your toilet paper all that way? Because our cats have destroyed the rolls of toilet paper before.
Honestly, cats can pull toilet paper either direction, let's be honest.
It's a lot easier the other direction, though. Direction everyone wants it to be.
So you do have an opinion. You think it should be one direction, and a lot of people think it should be the others. Like, everyone has an opinion on which direction it should be.
Well, I don't care which direction it is.
No, you clearly do.
Well, in a house with cats,
I have a cat, and she never does that. So I think you're wrong. Your cat might do that, but not everyone's cat does that.
Alice used to do it.
Okay.
So we had to do it because of Alice, and then people would come to the house and be like... So I'm not saying it matters either way.
No, you are.
But people have legitimate reasons for doing it the other way.
Like to have it. A lot of reasons for things aren't for the actual practical use of them, but for the aesthetic of them, and that's a very legitimate reason to like something. It's
stupid.
I think it looks more pleasing when it's coming from the top over like the front. It just looks better to me. I don't like it coming the other way.
Fine, agree to disagree.
And an aesthetic
and move on.
Reason is a legitimate reason.
It's stupid. I still think it's stupid. My mind has not been changed.
Okay, mine either. But mine, well, I'll save that one until the end because it's kind of the same genre. I have a lot that are like internet based, like pet peeves on social media. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'll kind of save those till the end because they kind of all go together. But I just put millennials.
Ugh,
which just like
they're so cringe.
Here's something that bothers me that like I don't know why, but etiquette rules. Why the fuck does it matter? I don't know why, but I think etiquette rules are so dumb and so annoying. Like, I feel like I see videos all the time that are like, all these etiquette rules, like teaching people etiquette. Why? Like, literally, why do we care what fork I fucking use to eat? Or why do we care where I put my elbows? Or like, especially when they're like, don't tell people you're going to the bathroom. Just say, excuse me. No, that's fucking weird. If someone was like, excuse me for a moment and left, I'd be like, where are you going? Like... Yeah. Tell me where you're going. Weird. That one in particular really bothers me. I'm like, no, that's weird actually. Just be like, excuse me for a moment and leave. No, tell people where you're going. I hate etiquette rules. I think that they're so dumb and I think that they don't matter at all. Okay, your next one.
You do two and then I'll do one.
Oh, because
you have so many.
This one bothers me so much. Well, they all do. I'm going to say that about everything. I wrote this list. When people put decorations on their stovetop.
People do that?
Yes! I see it all the time. It's especially bad around Christmas time because people will literally put a garland over the backsplash of their stovetop.
Oh my god.
It is such a fire hazard. It's so dumb.
That is so stupid.
I've
never noticed that.
Okay, next time you see like a video or something of someone making a recipe or like cooking video, it's not in every single one. Obviously, there are a lot of people that don't do that. But I feel like it's surprisingly common how often I see people put little like plants or things on their stovetop as a decoration, like in the back of it. But I'm like, no, especially if you have a gas stove.
Yeah,
but even an electric stove, no.
Still a fire hazard.
Like, don't put shit on your stove unless it's a pot
dumb.
or a pan. Yeah, that bothers me just because I'm like, oh, you're just stupid. Like, you're just looking to burn your house down. Anyway, what's your next one?
So this one is like, it's another kind of like, why do people give a shit about this? Mm-hmm. And there are other examples, but I'm giving one specific example of this kind of thing. My specific example is like the debate over like whether or not pineapple belongs on pizza.
Oh my gosh.
Why do you give a shit? Literally, why do you care? Or like, because people will be like, absolutely not. Putting pineapple on a pizza is such a crime.
No.
Why do you care? If people like to eat that, eat it. Let them eat it.
They're
just eating more fruit. Like,
I literally almost wrote the same thing. People give such a shit about what other people eat,
it doesn't matter.
Never understand it.
Or like the mint chocolate, debate.
Literally,
like,
I think about this all the time.
Who cares?
Who gives a fuck?
Literally, who cares?
There's food that I don't like. And I might just be like, I think that's gross.
I'm not going to tell other people they're stupid for liking it.
But I'm not going to be like,
unless
if you like this, you're wrong.
Drinking raw milk, I think those people are stupid.
If it's something
that's something that's legitimately dangerous for their health.
If people are like, you should eat dirt straight out of the floor.
And it doesn't go for giving like really bad diet advice, like, be upset about that.
Well, there are people out there who are saying you should eat like raw meat.
Yeah, that's a pet peeve. Just people giving absolute batshit crazy diet advice.
Oh my gosh,
that's like
there's so
completely non-scientific and makes no sense.
There's
like
so much.
Anyone who tells you not to eat fruits or veggies or something is like,
like
you are actually literally
there's
stupid.
An insane amount of
like your brain does not work.
Garbage dieting advice out there. There's garbage dating advice too. That's a pet peeve of mine online is people like constantly judging other people's relationships.
Well, also men trying to give dating advice about like what women want when they clearly have no fucking idea what women want.
Do you know what? Okay, this I just thought of, and this is definitely a hot take, but do you know what I kind of hate? It's like a common thing people say when they are giving dating advice or they're just like judging someone else's relationship. Mm-hmm. I actually really do not like the saying, if he wanted to, he would. I actually really hate that because
you can't expect him to do something that he doesn't know you want him to do.
Yeah, I mean, there to a certain extent, yeah. Like,
he should buy you flowers sometimes.
General, basic, treating your woman nicely.
Yeah.
But there will be people who, like, my boyfriend, like, threw me a surprise birthday party, and he went to my Pinterest to find exactly the kind of things that I wanted for my party. Like, he went out of his way to do this thing.
Very specific.
And then people like, if he wanted to, he would. Yeah. Girl,
or like,
that's
my boyfriend rented a yacht and set up a beautiful romantic picnic for us.
Which is cool. That's great.
That's fantastic for you.
But
what kind of man is going to assume that his woman wants that?
Here's the thing. Yeah, when people are like, if he wanted to, he would. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, but like
If I've heard people change the saying into, if he knows that you want him to, he should.
That's great.
That's a lot better.
I love that because I'm like, no. And I was talking about this with my therapist the other day, is that people get this backwards idea in their relationships, and it hurts a lot of relationships, that it's going to be this fantasy Hollywood movie.
Like,
and it's not. The thing is, and we need to learn that asking someone to do something for you doesn't devalue them doing it for you. And because
when they learn that you want them to do it, they want to do it for you.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, and again, this doesn't go for the basics, just treating you with basic human kindness, telling you they love you. Like, the basics, obviously, those should be covered. But, like, when it goes to doing things above and beyond, it's not a bad thing to ask your partner to do something for you, and then they follow through. It doesn't devalue it. And my therapist and I were talking about how a lot of the time people can understand this when it comes to basic, like, physical needs. If you asked your husband to pick something up from the grocery store and he got it for you and you're like, thank you, it means a lot that he stopped and he grabbed that for you, or whatever. And same vice versa, if he asked you to do something for him, like, can you take out the trash, and you do it, like basic things like that, it's like, oh, I'm glad that they did that thing for me. But for some reason, when it comes to emotional needs, we like think there's less value to it because we had to ask for it. If I'm feeling insecure one day, like, because some days my mental health goes up and down, right? And if there's a specific day where, like, I'm just feeling insecure about myself, I don't feel pretty, Nathan's not going to read my mind and be like, she feels ugly today. I should tell her she looks pretty and that I love her.
I mean, emotional needs are most often less apparent than physical needs.
But if I ask
How are they supposed to know?
If I asked him, I was like, I'm really just, like, not feeling good about myself today. Like, do you think I'm pretty? And he was like, yes, of course you're beautiful. Him telling me that isn't less meaningful just because I asked him to.
He still told you the truth.
He still means it. And he, like, and I needed to hear it. It's okay to ask for things in your relationship, and then your partner doing it is, like, it's still meaningful. I don't know. Obviously, yes, your partner should still surprise you every once in a while with big things, especially if it's Valentine's Day.
You have to ask them every single time.
If you're asking them for everything, that's a problem. But in general, I think people are like, no, he should always be surprising you. He should always be reading your mind. Like, and it's just not realistic.
People are not mind readers.
And it makes, it makes relationships unhappy because everyone has such ridiculously high expectations for each other. Anyway, I went off on that for a long time. So what is yours?
It's your turn again. That was all about mine. That started with talking about pineapple on pizza.
Oh my god, sorry. This is one. Sorry, this might make me sound like I'm not a girl's girl, and I'm sorry. Because I am a girl's girl. But I really hate overdrawn lips. I think
totally valid. They look so weird. You can see where your natural lips end. There's a line, it's not always, just color, but it's like kind of skin, you know?
It's always obvious.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with, like, thinner lips. Like, it's okay to just embrace your natural beauty, honestly.
I think part of the problem is that the girls who overdraw their lips on themselves, from the front, it doesn't look completely horrible.
True.
Because you can't quite see the, ridge of their lip.
For a selfie or something? Okay,
sure, go for it.
I could see that.
But, like, for everyday life, if you're out in public, it looks so dumb.
It looks really
bad. Like, the moment you turn it even a slight angle, it's like, oh,
I'm like,
that's ugly.
Who do you think you're fooling? Do you think I'm stupid?
Yeah.
Who do you think you're fooling?
This is why men say, like, one wipe and it's all gone. Not that they have any right to say that.
No, they don't. They're wrong for that.
That's still disgusting to say. But that's not helping.
No. And the thing is, I totally support non-makeup girlies and makeup girlies.
Yeah.
And if
I am a non-makeup girly.
If you want to do that,
but I love the makeup.
Like, it's not actually hurting anyone. I just personally don't think it looks good.
Yeah,
and I think it's pretty obvious.
Oh my gosh.
You do it.
I have another thing to mention.
What?
So there's, the go tell your girlfriend what I've been doing. That song that's trending right now. The singer of that, she has like these really ugly eyelashes. I sent you that picture of her eyelashes.
Are they like curly ones?
No, they're just like really thick, like completely stuck together, just like
I don't
one
like
big
that.
slab of lashes.
I don't like that
and
look.
They are hideous, and they make her eyes look terrifying, and I do not like them. And when people started talking about how ugly her lashes was, everyone started assuming that it was just racism. And I was like, I swear to God it has nothing to do with the fact that she's black. Oh. Her lashes are hideous. No, I swear to you.
I've seen ugly lashes on all races.
Any person can have ugly lashes.
Yeah, sometimes lashes just look bad.
And everyone's like, you guys are just upset that she's not what you expected her to look like. The second I heard that song, I expected it to be a black girl. She sounds black to me. The style sounds like it's probably a black girl to me. I don't care about that at all. I did not expect her to be white. I wouldn't have cared either way what her race was. Her lashes are ugly. Not everything is racism. Some people just have ugly lashes. I'm sorry.
I think super thick lashes are kind of ugly too. But again, these are the pet peeves that are like, but these ones don't really matter. Like, these are kind of shallow pet peeves where I'm like, I know this isn't hurting anyone. Like, this is just, if that's a look you prefer.
No. My pet peeve there isn't the lashes. It's people assuming that it was racism when her lashes are literally just ugly. Maybe for some people it was rooted in racism. But no, her lashes are just hideous. Like, not for me.
Sorry. I just didn't like her lashes.
Like, her face is gorgeous. She even admitted that her lash tech got like overzealous with it, mm-hmm. But like she even said that she knows that the lashes aren't perfect. Okay.
This one
I just can't.
No, it's fine. This one I talked with Annie about a little bit, and I'm gonna keep this one brief because I know that I could rant about this for an entire hour.
Pick any one of these, we could probably go on about it for an hour.
This entire episode is just complaining and complaining and complaining. So if you don't like listening to complaining, then
I love it.
You probably didn't make it to this point in the episode anyway. So okay, people who say that they don't visualize images in their head when they think, I genuinely think they're just stupid and wrong and don't realize what we're talking about.
Or they're lying for attention.
Because the thing is, when I say that we see things in our head, I don't mean it's like with your eyes. It's different because it's in your head. Yeah. Like, I'm not closing my eyes.
It's not like a crystal clear vision.
It's not like I'm seeing the same way I see with my eyeballs. No one means that. No. But like, I just don't feel like...
I think people just don't understand what
I think they don't understand what we're saying. Yeah. Because if you're like, you can see in your head, I'm like, well, yeah, but it's not the same as seeing with my eyes. But like, you can picture your mom's face. Because if you couldn't, then that means that you immediately forget what your mom looks like the second she's out of your view. Like, you would have no, like... object
there
permanence.
Are people who do completely forget faces the second they're not seeing
and that's a different thing. But like, you would literally
disorder.
You would have like basically no object permanence if you couldn't imagine things in your head. Like, as soon as someone holds an apple behind their back, you don't know what an apple looks like until you see it again. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. If you know what an apple looks like, even when there's not one around,
saw an apple, you'd be like, what the fuck is that?
No, you wouldn't be like, what the fuck is that? You'd be like, oh, that's an apple. But like, you
how do you know if you haven't been able to picture it?
Because you remember again, and once you see, it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, if you know what an apple looks like, then you're picturing it in your head.
Yeah. I mean, think about people like drawing something from memory. that gives you a good idea of what the images look like in your head.
Yeah, I guess
they're not perfect. They're not incredibly detailed. But
I feel like mine are incredibly detailed. Like, but like, they're not. It's not like seeing with your eyes. It's entirely different. And I, from the depths of my soul, think that people are just wrong and don't understand what we're explaining, or they're again lying for attention. Yeah. There's just no way that people don't see stuff in their head. I genuinely think they're lying, and I wish there was a way to prove it, but I guess technically there's not.
Fair.
Do I have to give another one? Was that 2?
How many more do you have left?
A lot.
Okay, I only have like 1 or 2 left, so.
Okay. I hate when someone is cooking something with, say, like chicken and vegetables, and they cook it all together, like fajitas, for instance. Mm-hmm. And people, because they put the raw chicken in with the vegetables that we're cooking, say it's cross-contamination.
Oh my god.
No, it's not. It's all being cooked.
They're so stupid.
You're so fucking dumb. Like, it's cross-contamination if you're mixing the raw chicken with vegetables that are ready to eat. Yes. But these vegetables are not ready to eat. These are also being cooked.
Cross-contamination doesn't matter.
No, you can toss them all together. You can chop your
peppers on the cutting board that you just chopped your chicken on. If it's being cooked, it doesn't matter.
If you're throwing it into with the chicken. Because the thing is, if the internal temperature of the chicken reaches 165, guess what, bitch? All the chicken
So did the peppers.
So did the peppers. All the chicken juices that were on the peppers also got fucking cooked, you moron.
I saw a video the other day. I cannot make this shit up. This guy was putting peanut butter on something, and he was doing like half smooth peanut butter and half chunky peanut butter. Uh-huh. And literally, when he switched, he was like, "Don't worry, guys, I'm grabbing another spoon so I don't cross-contaminate."
That's not cross-contamination.
That's
not cross-contamination.
That's not cross-contamination. There's just 2 different kinds of peanut butter. What are you talking about?
Are using a utensil or something, or you're touching foods together that would be mixing one unsafe food with one safe food ready to eat. Mm-hmm. Or when it comes to allergies, if you're cross-contaminating allergens. Peanut butter could be an allergy if you were mixing it with something that's not. Like if you were making a sandwich for someone who's allergic to peanut butter.
Problem, but it was just 2 different kinds of peanut butter.
No, if someone's allergic to peanut butter and you're making a new sandwich with just like jelly and whatever, no peanut butter, then you would need a new knife because that would be cross-contamination. But if there are no safety concerns, it is not cross-contamination just because you're mixing 2 foods. Yeah. That's not the same thing.
The worst part of that video is that no one in the comments had anything to say about it. I was the only person who had this thought. There's
so many people in this country.
That's a pet peeve, actually. When I realize something is like so wrong with a video, or someone said something really stupid, and I go to the comments to see the people calling them out, and no one said jack shit about it. I'm like, what?
Sometimes I feel like an ass.
Is everyone stupid?
Sometimes I feel like an asshole. I saw this video earlier today of someone who was like showing off these pants that they got. They were like white denim, and they had like blue flowers on them, and something about like the fit of the pants, like the shape of the pants. They were like not flare, but not boot cut, and they were really tight on top. They just like were weird shaped pants, and they were not cute. And she was like, perfect spring pants.
And no one was hating on her?
Immediately I went to the comments and I was like, oh no, what do people say about her pants? And everyone was like, so cute. And I was like,
oh that's the worst.
And I was like, oh, these pants aren't cute though.
But there's like all the time I'll go to the comments expecting people to be like hating on the video, and then like everyone's being nice.
And I feel so mean. I'm like, was that just me? Oh. There's no way I was the only one that thought these were ugly.
I have another thing to mention. This isn't really a pet peeve. It's just something that annoys me that I saw yesterday. So I sent you this video of, it was showing like the prices of a K-pop idol's clothes. Oh, and it was like a really ugly outfit.
Yeah.
And there was someone in the comments that was like, you guys love like Y2K fashion and K-pop until it's like real Y2K. And I'm like, or like when it's this side of Y2K fashion. And I'm like,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like other Y2K things. I don't like this Y2K thing.
Some of Y2K fashion's ugly.
I don't have to like all of Y2K to
wearing dresses over jeans, I don't think was a cute part of Y2K fashion.
Ugly.
I think that was bad. And I think that
I don't have to like every part of Y2K
that doesn't need to come back.
Part of Y2K.
Yeah, that is weird.
I like that in America we have, what do I like about America?
I don't know.
I can't even think of anything. I like that we have hot dogs in America, but that doesn't mean I like everything about America.
Wow, you love American food. You love everything about America until it comes to slavery. Bitch, I just said I like hot dogs. Like, what are you saying?
Yeah, like...
Yeah, a lot of American history is bad.
It's like when people are like, oh, you like Call of Duty? Name every single character in Call of Duty. That was just the first thing.
That is a weird thing that you said, but
Call of Duty was what came to my head. I don't know. But like... Yeah, I don't have to like everything about something to like something.
Well, I do that. I tell people I like horror movies, and then they assume I'm like a cinephile when it comes to like scary movies. I'm like, well, no, I just enjoy like watching them. Like when someone puts one on, I'm like, oh, this is fun. I've seen
every single one.
I didn't say that it's like my niche interest that I like know everything about. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they're like, oh, what do you think about this specific director? I'm like, well, like, I don't know a lot about horror. I just said I liked it because I like watching them.
Ethan used to call me, like, a fake Star Wars fan all the time because, like, I don't know every single... No, I'm not, like, a Star Wars encyclopedia
if you enjoyed watching the Star Wars movies, you can say, I like Star Wars.
Like Star Wars. I enjoy the movies.
They're fun to watch.
I am a Star Wars fan. Yeah, that's all. That's the only requirement.
Yeah. Anyway, gatekeeping is a big pet peeve of mine. Yeah. But...
I just thought that comment was so stupid. There were people that replied to that comment that agreed with me at least, so that was good.
This is a driving one. I hate it when people turn into the wrong lane. I can't stand it. Oh my God. It is not hard.
Someone did that today and I almost hit them.
It's not hard. It's not hard. Utah drivers all have very specific problems. Turning into the wrong lane. Yeah. Changing lanes without signaling and driving too close.
Why don't people signal?
Those three issues in Utah they run rampant. Like awful. Everyone does them, and they all piss me off.
I don't break any of those rules.
Me neither.
Like it's not that hard to just be a good driver. I can never understand why people don't signal when they change lanes or like when they turn.
All it's doing is helping you.
First of all, it should be instinct. Yes. When I go to turn the wheel, my hand is on the little signal button. Yep. Like it's not that hard.
Yeah.
I think I'm one of the only people that actually signals like a couple seconds before I start moving.
I always
Maybe that's
do.
Just me.
I also hate people who refuse to let other people into their lane.
Oh my God, it's just not that hard. Like, what are you going to be like 1 second later to your...
I think we're yelling a little too much.
Sorry.
Like, what are you gaining from not letting someone go where they need to go?
I mean, the amount of time that you save from not letting them in front of you is time that you're going to like lose at a stoplight. Anyway.
It's like, completely negligible. It's not helping you at all. It's really weird to me. I hate that.
Yeah.
Okay, this this one's about British people. Just them in general. But also, this is such a dumb, small thing. I hate the way that British people pronounce the TH like a V. I hate it.
Oh, yeah.
With you. It's, at this point, that's not even like a, accent difference. That's just wrong. That's just not the sound that a TH makes. It just doesn't make a V. That's just not right.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's a small thing, but, it just bothers me.
Okay, I'll go next.
Okay, yeah. I've said a lot.
This is one that we've talked about plenty of times. Just when, really short or really small or, skinny people cannot shut the fuck up about the fact that they're short or small or skinny.
They're like, I'm just so tiny. God. Okay.
Can you please shut up? Especially when people do it around me, like a visibly, obviously fat person.
It's super weird. And the thing is...
What are you doing?
I've never met someone who does that wasn't so obviously doing it for, compliments. They're, fishing for some... What do you want me to say to you? Yeah, you are so skinny.
No, or no one's gonna do that.
Yeah, girl, I wish I was as tiny as you. What do you want me to say to you?
It's weird.
It's always, it just,
so much.
I feel like it kills any conversation because there's no way to respond to it. It's just okay, what do I say? Literally, how do they want me to respond? I think it's so weird, too. I don't like that. Okay, what else? Oh, this isn't a pet peeve. This is just something I wrote on my list because I was like, I want to talk about this. This is just something I want to, normalize. Ow! I just dropped my phone on my ankle. This is just something I want to normalize. Okay. So, think about if you... Okay. This is a very normal situation. I'll set up this situation. You're talking to your friend or your coworker or someone.
Mm-hmm. I do that a lot.
And you're like, oh my God, girl, your shirt is so cute. Where did you get it? And they're like, oh, I got it at H&M. And you're like, I love it. I'm going to go get it. Do they have other colors? Whatever. Fine. You can go find the shirt at H&M. Normal conversation, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we normalize that with food? Hear me out. Whenever I see a recipe online, I'm like, tell me where to get that. You know those sago recipes? Mm-hmm. No one has ever told me where to fucking buy sago pearls, ever. Where do you get them? All the time I see people are like, something that uses gelatin or how do you say, agar? Mm-hmm. You know that? Tell me the aisle, because how do you expect me to just know where this ingredient is? This pisses me off so much. I'm like, it's so normal to ask people, where'd you get your shoes? Where'd you get your shirt? If you have a recipe, don't just tell me what's in it and the amounts. Tell me where you got the shit, because sometimes there are unique, weird ingredients that I'm like, I don't know where to find this. You can say at Walmart, that's great, but Walmart is also huge. She'll be like, where is it though? Like, is it in the baking aisle? Like, help me out a little bit. Yeah. I don't feel like it would be that weird. I feel like it should be a really normal thing.
I feel like the people that are often the best about this is Asian recipes. They're always like...
Or vegans. Vegans are pretty good about it.
That's true. But Asian recipes, they'll almost always be like, you can find this at pretty much any Asian market. It's not usually in, like, your regular stores like Walmart and stuff. You'll have to go to an Asian market
and that's what I assume about, like, sago pearls is probably available
at Walmart. For Asian recipes, they're just...
But all the time, I see people making things. I'm like, okay, but you know that that's a pretty unique ingredient. You know that that's something that people don't generally have in their house. Yeah. Tell me where to find it. Because, like, that looks yummy, but there are so many things that I've seen that I'm like, I will never make because I have no idea where to get that ingredient. I mean, I could probably, like, order it on Amazon if I wanted to, but that's going to cost me way more money than just going to the grocery store.
Most convenient way to do it.
Like, this isn't a pet peeve.
I also don't want to make a whole trip to Walmart just to find out that they don't have it there. I can't find it, you know?
This isn't a pet peeve exactly because it's not something that I would just, like, expect people to instinctively do.
It's just kind of frustrating.
It's just something I'm like, why don't we start doing this? Like, I think this should become a thing because it just would help. It helps so much. I see recipes all the time that I'm like, well, I don't know where to fucking get that. But yeah, anyway. I was saying that I have a few that are all kind of within the same category. They're all like internet specific ones, but we kind of touched on some internet ones anyway, so like I probably could have said them throughout the thing. But I hate when people argue with no one in the comments.
Oh my god, all the time.
When people go to the comments assuming that someone's going to be saying something negative or saying something woke or whatever. Yeah. And then they just like argue with no one. They're like, the comments saying this, and we're like, no fucking comments are saying that. No. Like, what are you going on about?
I saw we talked about this at, like, slot canyons. They'll have, like, poles that show, like, how wide the canyon is. And they'll be like, if you can't fit through this, you cannot go on this hike.
It's just, like a safety precaution.
Safe. You cannot.
Yeah, they're literally like, make it through. You won't make it through. So,
and there were just people in the comments that are like, not people calling this fat phobic. And everyone's not a single person in the comments did.
Everyone's like, who are you talking to?
We don't expect them to widen the canyon for fat people. Yeah. Like, we're not stupid. We know this isn't fat phobic. The only person
I saw calling it fat phobic was being, like, facetious. And they were like, this is fat phobic. Bulldoze the whole canyon and build a Walmart.
When people joke about, like, the Grand Canyon, they're like, imagine a Walmart here.
Yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, like, imagine the urban sprawl we could create.
That shit so much.
They're like, this, so funny. Imagine a highway. Like, it's so funny to me. That's the only one I saw. Good. So either that person took that seriously, or they just assumed people were going to have this opinion and they just wanted to start arguing.
Like, no, I hate that. People care about fat phobia, but they're not stupid. I'm like, yeah, you don't think the canyon is fat phobic.
You're arguing with literally no one. God. Another one.
It's a very good thing that they have those, actually, or people would die all the time in that canyon.
Rage bait annoys me because here's the thing. Sometimes I see rage bait that I'm like, I'm not even mad about this. I'm more mad about the fact that you're trying to make rage bait. Does that make sense? I'm like, I'm not actually mad about the opinion that you put out here. I can just tell you're trying to make people angry, and that actually in turn made me angry.
The worst thing about rage bait is how many people can't tell that it's rage bait.
Yeah, well,
I'm like, guys, leave it alone.
I put a specific example on this note because I saw one that I was like, guys, this is so clearly rage bait. It's just like, it's just stupid. Because, okay, you know that how people make, like, candy salad where they'll mix a bunch of candies together, you know, whatever, which I think is cute. I want to do that sometime.
Yeah. We can do that tomorrow.
This person, oh yeah, we could.
We should tell Brianna.
This person was like,
we can use the puke bowl.
Okay, stop. Sorry. They were like making candy salad nature's version and just cut up fruit. Obviously, fruit salad. Okay. But like everyone was so mad. I'm like, guys, they're trying to make you mad. They know that this is not candy salad. Yeah. They literally were just wanting your engagement. Just move on. Like seriously? And it just made me annoyed because I was like, I'm not annoyed at her calling it candy salad. I'm annoyed that she's just posting this to make people mad. Yeah. Like, oh my God. It was just so stupid. I was like, seriously, you guys. And people falling for it pisses me off too.
Yeah. How many do you have left?
1.5. One of them I don't know if I want to share because it's, I don't know.
Okay. I'll do my last one. Okay. You do that.
Yeah, do your last one.
This one's a pretty small thing. Just when you sigh and someone's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, Sighing feels nice. Shut the fuck up. I'm fine.
Sometimes I do that to Nathan, but
like, it's nothing.
But here's the thing.
Where'd my nail go?
When you're dating someone, you grow to read them pretty well. Mm-hmm. And I can tell the difference between Nathan's frustration sigh and his just like relief kind of random sigh.
Yeah.
And when he sighs and I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, nothing, I was just sighing. I'm like, no, I know you're lying though. So like I will do that to him, but like I feel like usually I can tell when he's actually upset. But I get annoyed when people do that too. I'm like, nothing. I don't even realize I sigh probably.
Especially if they don't believe you when you say it's nothing.
A lot of the time like, I don't.
No, you sound upset. What's wrong?
Nothing.
I needed to take a deep breath.
A lot of the time I don't realize I sigh. And so when they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. Why? And like, you sighed. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's a little thing.
Okay.
It's something that
yeah, this one is so dumb. And this is an internet thing. And it just pisses me off. I guess this can be true for a lot of different types of videos, but this specific type annoys me. If you're gonna get a nose job, don't make a video about it until your nose is healed, because I'm not coming back to your page. I don't know who you are. Like, I don't follow you. This is how TikTok and Instagram and stuff works. Mm-hmm. Random ass people who you don't know, their videos show up on your feed and you just scroll past and you watch them. I'm not going to follow you just to see your nose. So don't make a fucking transition video if there's not a final result. And this goes for any sort of transition or any sort of like DIY trying something out. Put it all in one video. I don't want to watch it if there's not a result.
I saw a video yesterday that was like, it was a guy talking about he bought this house and it had a pool and the pool was like totally run down and disgusting. And he was like, and he put the entire transformation process in one video.
It's not that hard.
3 years to transform this pool, and he put it all in one video.
Icon. That's how it should always be.
I was like, I love you so much.
And I get that people want the engagement. They want people coming back to their page. They want people following. But like, fuck you, actually. Yeah. I would enjoy your content a lot more, and I actually might give you a follow if you were the kind of person who made videos that weren't fucking annoying. Like,
yeah.
I just don't understand. Especially, I see people all the time that have like the like freeze dryer things, and they're like, we're gonna be freeze drying these candies, and they put it in, they're like,
and it's like 20 videos later that they have
there's a result, and I'm like, it doesn't take that long. It does not take that long. You could make it all in one video. Show me how the candy turned out, and it's like, I don't care.
It does take a while, but you could
put it in one video
in like 2 days.
Yeah, and I'm like,
shut the fuck up.
Like, it would be interesting to see the final result, but I don't care enough to go back to it.
Yeah.
Never have I ever cared enough to go back and find someone's profile to see how their freeze-dried candy turned out. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't know, maybe this will show up on my page another day. But like, so just put it all in one video.
The major problem is that content creation used to be a hobby for people, and now it is a job for people.
And now people are just trying to finesse the algorithm. They're trying to see how they can get more I said the word earlier, why can't I remember? Engagement. Yeah, and that's why people make rage bait, and that's why people do needless part 2s.
Like, people used to do it because they wanted to entertain people, and they had fun doing it.
Yeah.
And it's way, way too easy to make a living off of content creation these days.
And so
it's not something that contributes to society. Nope. You're basically a fucking deadbeat if that's what you're doing. I'm sorry. Like,
it's not entertainment anymore. Well, I don't think you're a deadbeat entirely, unless, well, like, okay. If you're genuinely doing it,
isn't the right word, but you know what I mean.
No. But like, if you're doing it because you genuinely enjoy entertaining, and you're putting out content that's entertaining, and not just how can I finesse the algorithm.
Doesn't go for everyone. There are plenty of content creators.
I think there are a lot of YouTubers who make genuinely funny videos, who put a lot of effort into it, and it like
Brittany Bros. They
clearly love to perform and entertain, and that is a whole different thing.
Mostly it goes for people who've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Like,
people who are just trying to make money, I can't even blame them, because I kind of get it.
Yeah, honestly, I understand.
But it just pisses me off that I'm like, come on. Is it really so hard to put the results in the same video?
It cannot be.
It's really not that hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, my last one was like kind of dumb, because I've seen this trend a lot on Instagram. Like, it'll be like a video of something, whatever, and it'll be like on a white background, and then there will be text on the white background that's like, if only there was a page dedicated to, and it's whatever they post, and it pisses me off. If only there was a page dedicated to prom proposals. If only there was a page dedicated to car crashes.
Yeah, no,
and I hate it.
I know exactly what you mean.
I'm like, that's so stupid. That is like the worst.
Like, first of all, no one is asking for that. Second of all,
If you're a page dedicated to prom proposal, just post prom proposals.
Because you'll have posted prom proposals.
I don't know why it bothers me, but I'm just like...
And it's more aesthetically pleasing for it to fill the whole screen anyway.
If I see that, I skip the video because I'm like, fuck this. It's so annoying. I don't like those. But anyway.
This is a similar... Well, it's not very similar, but... When there's a video that says, like, wait till the end, and then nothing interesting happens at the end.
Oh, yeah. They're like, the last one's the craziest, and it's like...
And it's like the most boring one.
It's like normal. Yeah.
I hate it! Drives me nuts!
People do that all the time. I used to fall for it when I was younger, because that's been happening forever. But when I was like 14, I remember it would be like, the last one's the craziest. And I'd get to the end, and I'd be like, why'd they think that one was the craziest? I didn't think that was that crazy. Oh, well. And I didn't understand what, like... I didn't get it at all. No, yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Did you fart?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I moved my mic.
Anyway, that was a lot of complaining, and it's been over an hour now.
Oh my god, it has.
Yeah, it's been an hour and 5 minutes.
My back is sweaty.
So we should wrap up. My butt is sweaty.
Can you see my back sweat on my shirt?
No. My armpits are pretty sweaty too. Anyway, we complained a lot, so I'm sorry if it wasn't very fun for you to listen to. If you disagree with us or you agree with us, let us know. I'm kind of curious.
If you disagree with us, you're stupid.
I want to see if you disagree or agree with any of our things. I don't know. You have anything else to add? I guess we could do our little song Rex. I didn't take my birth control yet today. Whoops. I'm like an hour late.
I have to pick up my thyroid today.
Well,
the pharmacy's closed.
I think it's a little too late for that. Yeah.
Tomorrow. I'm only one day.
I can't think of a song, so I'm going to shuffle my entire library and just see what comes up.
Okay. Well, I do have a song, and I have a little story.
Whoa! The song that came up. This was my favorite song when I was like 16 years old. And it's actually a pretty good song. So the song is called Avant Gardener. The original one is by Courtney Barnett, but the one that I always listened to was a cover by Gordy, Gordi. And it's a really good song, actually. The one by Courtney Barnett is good too, but I prefer the cover, which probably that's not a common opinion, but that's actually, I heard the cover first. So to me, it's like the original, even though it's not.
Valid.
So yeah, Avant Gardener was my favorite song in high school. And that's what came up when I shuffled randomly. So that's my recommendation this week.
All right, big slay. My recommendation is interesting. Do you ever have a song that it's like you've heard this song multiple times before, you never thought anything of it,
but sometimes it hits you harder,
and then one day you hear it and you're like, wait,
yes,
this song's insanely good, and then you listen to it every day for like a week, like 5 times a day for a week, this is that song right now,
like Blame It on the Alcohol by the Glee Cast.
Sure. This song is on the Heartstopper soundtrack, which I've listened to the whole thing like a million times. But the other day I was just listening to it, and this song came on, and I was like, whoa, it's Fever Dream by MXM Tune. Oh my god. It's MXM so Tune. Good. It's such a good song.
Is that how she says her name?
Yeah.
Okay. I always wondered, because I always just see
no one ever knows, but yeah, it's MXM Tune. She's like, it is exactly what it looks like. MXM Tune.
Okay, perfect.
Don't overthink it. Like,
yeah, I was definitely overthinking it. Yeah. I was like, is the X supposed to be replacing some vowel? I don't know. No. Is it like
often
Mon
X does, so that's the
that's why I was like, oh.
But, there's puke on the couch.
Cat puke, not human puke.
Okay, bye.
Oh wait, was that it? Is it? Oh, okay. Bye guys. Thanks for listening.
You had anything else to say?
No, it seemed like you were still talking, but you just didn't talk. And oh wait, let's echo out. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.